It's almost NFL draft week, and you know what that means? It's time to make some money. Let's take advantage of the best odds that are on the market right now as we head towards the NFL draft. More and more will become available, including those exactos that we love to hit on the week of the draft. But let's get it started today with just some of the opening numbers that are kind of available. So you're not going to be touching the number one overall pick because it's minus 20,000 right now for Cam Ward to be a Tennessee Titan. Everybody's pretty much in line with that happening, right? So we understand that. Number two overall, Travis Hunter's numbers have moved from minus 180 to minus 250 to 280 to now up to 310. He's the favorite to be the number two overall selection to the Cleveland Browns. It's actually the number two overall pick. It's not attached to a specific team. If you believe it's going to be Abdul Carter, it's plus 190. And if you believe it's all smoke, Shedeur Sanders is plus 1,700. I kind of think that that's a little bit of a good value. I know a lot of people have kind of written off the Browns as potential for this selection to take Shedeur Sanders and more likelihood that Shedeur is going to fall. I talked to Matty Kuhn about this, but he brought up the fact that multiple teams have multiple third-round picks and good standing second-round picks. So Cleveland, the Giants, you look at Jacksonville, San Fran, New Orleans, and New England all have a first-round pick, a second-round pick, and two third-round picks in this year's draft that are all into the top 100. Cleveland, the Giants, and the Saints, the three teams that are quarterback needy, that each have selections in the first round, in the top 10, in the second round, in the top 40, and then also two more selections in the third that are into the top 100. So the Shedeur thing at pick two, I get that there's a little bit of value here to the Browns. It's even more interesting that at number three, he's only plus 450, which is the Giants selection. So let's say Travis Hunter goes two. It's more likely that three is Abdul Carter minus 230. Shedeur's at plus 450 at third overall. So that kind of gives us a feel for what the market thinks of the Giants versus the Browns in connection to Shedeur Sanders. So if you think there's Browns magic cooking, plus 1,700 is a complete sleeper there because the market is very much in favor of the Giants potentially at number three. Odds to be a top five pick. The only ones that are available right now, Cam Ward's not available. Travis Hunter's not available. Abdul Carter's not available. However, Will Campbell, minus 175. Mason Graham, minus 140. Armand Membu's plus 200. Shedeur Sanders is plus 230. Jalen Walker's plus 500, and then it drops down a little bit to Genty at plus 750, and then it's a mosh pit plus 2,500 plus. So there's six guys here kind of looking at two spots. So if we take off the board Cam Ward, Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, we're looking at pick 4 and 5, which is the Patriots and the Jags. And the market's telling us it's Will Campbell, who is the odds-on favorite right now to be a Patriot, Mason Graham, the odds-on favorite right now to be a Jacksonville Jaguar, or you have these wild cards. Armand Membu, the right tackle / right guard from Missouri, plus 200 to be a top 5 pick. Shedeur Sanders, plus 230. We just talked about him. If he's going to be a top 5 pick, he's going to be 2 or 3. So you're not touching him to be a top 5 pick. You're touching him. Sounds weird. Pause. You're going to take him at plus 1,700 to be number 2 overall. You're going to take him at plus 450 to be number 3 overall. If you believe that he is going to be a top 5 pick, don't touch the plus 230. Jalen Walker, plus 500. He's been attached to both the Jags and the Patriots. I think if he's a Patriot, they probably let him fall a little bit before they take him or they trade down. Genty, plus 750. Would not touch this with a 10-foot pole. I don't believe that this makes sense to the Jaguars. We've heard that rumor. Don't see it. And the Patriots as well. Don't see it. Sleeper selections to jump into the top 5. Tyler Warren, plus 2,500. I don't agree with it. We've heard the rumors we haven't heard the rumors. We've heard the potential connections to the Patriots. I don't think they'll do it at 4. Disagree with it wholeheartedly. Obviously, the Jaguars just got rid of Evan Ingram. He goes to the Denver Broncos. I don't see it there either at 5, but that's just an option. Also, one that was posed to me was Jackson Dart. Does somebody trade up for a quarterback instead of potentially trading up from the second round into the teens or to 9, potentially, something like this, to get ahead of the Saints? What if somebody moved up, let's say, from 9, the Saints, or let's say, who knows who else, moves up and has to get up to number 4 or number 3, or number 4, number 5, sorry, with the Jaguars or the Patriots, and they get a Dart. Dart is plus 5,500 versus Shedeur's plus 230. So if you really believe in the latest dust-up that has suppressed Shedeur and says that Dart potentially jumps ahead of Shedeur, if that's real, The Saints have traded up more than any team in the last decade. If they trade up for a quarterback and it's Dart and not Shador, and they get up to 5, you'd be getting Jackson Dart at plus 5,500. That, my friends, is the biggest dart throw I think I'll make at any position to take advantage of in the 2025 NFL draft pre-draft process. Right now, there is an exacta available on the market from the Ringers NFL Draft Special. It's Cam Ward 1, Shador 2, Travis Hunter 3, and Abdul Carter 4. That's plus 2,000. Wouldn't quite touch that. If you think Shador's going to go 2 and you want to take this exacta, you get plus 1,700 just on Shador. So if you're going to take the plus 2,000 here, you might as well also take the plus 1,700 on Shador. Teams to draft Shador Sanders: Saints plus 105, Giants plus 450, Pittsburgh plus 600, Cleveland Browns plus 700, Jets plus 1,000, and Rams plus 2,100. Again, if the Saints draft Dart, what team moves up to get Sanders? Does he fall to 21 to the Pittsburgh Steelers? That's plus 600. Do the Giants or the Browns move up? We talked about the draft capital that the Giants and Browns both have. Giants are plus 450. Browns are plus 700. If we're doing the math that we were doing before, if you look at the top number 2 and 3 overall pick, Shador plus 1,700 to go to the Browns, plus 450 to go to the Giants. Those, again, aren't going to the team. That's going number 2 overall and going number 3 overall, where those respective teams select. It would tell us the Giants are the lean here, but getting plus 700 for the Browns, whereas you could be getting at number 2 overall plus 1,700. I like that much more. Those are some of the obvious ones. Let's look at positional stuff. First wide receiver drafted outside of Travis Hunter. It may catch some of you by surprise. Over the last 3 weeks, the conversation has been shifted towards Matthew Golden to be the first wide receiver drafted. The Tetairoa McMillan number has risen up to minus 300 to be the first receiver drafted after Travis Hunter because he's a cross-positional player. Minus 300 for Tet, plus 185 for Matthew Golden. Everybody else is over plus 1,000. If you do believe Golden's the first guy and that he fits the Cowboys better, that would be the selection to make, is plus 185 on Matthew Golden. Tetairoa is minus 300. I'm staying away from Tetairoa McMillan at minus 300. Genty, obviously, minus 5,000 to be the first running back taken. Amari Hampton's plus 1,200 for second. Interestingly enough, if you're looking at markets from this perspective, the market goes Genty, Hampton, Henderson, Judkins, Scadaboo, and Dylan Sampson are running backs 5 and 6, according to the market, followed by RJ Harvey, DJ Giddens, Caleb Johnson, Devin Neal, Ollie Gordon, and Bashal Tootin. First tight end at the board is Tyler Warren, minus 950, Colston Loveland, plus 470. Not a lot of value there, unless you think that the matchup, the fit, the Colts prefer is Colston Loveland over Tyler Warren. I don't think that that's the case, but there's obviously potential there. Offensive line. This is where I think there's actually a sneaky bit of value. There could be teams, and we've heard that there's teams that completely have taken Will Campbell off the tackle side of their board. As much as people want to talk about Banks being a guard, Dane Brugler with the Beast, he put him at guard, didn't rank him at tackle. People in the NFL have Campbell labeled the same way, even though some people view Campbell as the best tackle in the class. He's minus 180 to be the first offensive lineman drafted. Armand Membu's plus 130. The best value on the open market right now, there's two. There's two of my favorite. I mean, the one I talked about a minute ago would have been, I'm going to sprinkle on, as soon as I get down to Florida next week, I'm going to sprinkle on Jackson Dart plus 5,500 to be a top 5 pick. Plus 5,500. I'm going to sprinkle on that. And then the other one's going to be right here. The first offensive lineman drafted, Kelvin Banks, plus 1,500. The conversation has not been surrounded around this guy at all. I'm taking plus 1,500 for Kelvin Banks as the biggest sleeper selection in this draft. If you're looking at DBs quick as well, Will Johnson minus 185, Jahdae Barron plus 140 to be the first DB drafted after Travis Hunter. Again, sprinkle on Jackson Dart as the top 5 pick, sprinkle on Kelvin Banks as the first offensive lineman drafted. Lots of values out there on the market right now as we head towards the 2025 NFL draft. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more from the Draft Ranking Show.